Hello, my lovely Marshall blenders. How are you? How are you? Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday. We made it to Friday. Listen, there has been a phrase that I've been seeing a lot on Instagram posts and even on YouTube. And it's made me wonder what the impetus for it has been. So the phrase is toxic positivity. So what people describe as toxic positivity is a person who, the way I understand it, is a person who ignores the other person's reality and tries to tell them to, oh, forget about it, don't be negative, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be all fine, everything's gonna be okay. I think I understand where people are coming from, but I believe that word toxic positivity is a weapon against a person who is positive. So I would say be cautious when using that word. And if you are a person who is positive, who is energetic and sees the future with hope, and someone hurls that word of toxic positivity at you, now mind you, disclaimer, no one has said this to me. It's just in my life's experience, I've learned that sometimes it takes an older person to help another person not be knocked down by a person's attempt to discourage them or remove their joy. Make myself clear? So it hasn't happened to me. No one has said it to me. And I think people are pretty wise and smart enough to know not to say that to me, because I will. If you come for me, I will not only send you packing, but I will wrap you up in bubble wrap, use Gorilla Glue, not put you in a regular cardboard box. I'll put you in a metal box and send you back to where you came from. But I will explain what toxic positivity is. Toxic positivity comes from inexperience, and it also comes from ignorance. Ignorance in the sense of not knowing. Ignorance really means you don't know. You're ignorant about something, right? You ignore knowledge of something. So, let's say someone has lost a family member, to this disease. I can speak from experience. I've lost family members, I've lost close friends. And there would be a person that might just want to say, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. What I have learned is to take the encouragement from where it comes from. That person is telling me everything's going to be okay. No, it's not going to be okay, because this person, for the time being, is dead and I cannot see them. But what that person is trying to tell me is, I don't know exactly what to say, but I want to be here for you and I want to help things be okay. So it's got to be wisdom on my part to be able to understand that, and then not try and hurl a, what you mean everything's gonna be okay? It's not gonna be okay. My sister died and my uncle died and my great grand uncle died, and whoa. So instead of calling that person toxic positivity, why not just say, you know what? I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. You know it's not going to be okay, but you know that what they're trying to say. So toxic positivity sometimes comes from ignorance, and it also comes from inexperience. All right. Another thing about toxic positivity. Toxic positivity, I liken it to vitamins or iron. Okay? So a person who is iron deficient or deficient in a mineral or a vitamin, if they take it, it's actually good for them. It's beneficial for them, right? But a person who already has enough iron in their system or has enough of a mineral or a vitamin and they take it, that same supplement that is beneficial to one is toxic to another. You get where I'm going? So it's misplaced positivity. The same thing I can tell Marcial to keep me positive and keep me going works wonderful for me. But if I place those same words of keep it pushing, you ain't got time to act like you got time, you better keep, that's what I tell myself. I don't play with me. Whenever I start feeling down, or if I start feeling like I'm not gonna do, I'm like, wait a minute, who gave you permission? Who gave you permission to slow down? You better pick it up, figure it out. That's how I talk to myself. Now, that's positive. That's positive for me, because when I'm done, I'm like, okay, I'll put my chensi, I'll be like, I'm the best. You know what I mean? Or boasty. Like it encourages me to talk to myself like that. And it's positive for me. But if I talk to someone else like that, it may not be positive for them. So sometimes the things that we say to ourselves that is a positive motivator for us, or is a comfort to us, you know? Like, there are some people who have to tell themselves, look, everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be okay. And the reason why that works for them is because as they're telling themselves everything is gonna be okay, guess what that's doing? That's triggering something in their mind, frontal lobe, triggering something there that helps them solve the problem, or at least cope with it. And they figure, if that works for me, then it'll probably work for you. But the reality is, everything is going to be okay. That works for so-and-so. It might work for Bramantha, but it doesn't work for me, you know? So then it's beneficial for Bramantha, but it's toxic to me. So when a person talks about toxic positivity, it doesn't necessarily mean the person is toxic. Don't take it personal. They're not saying you're toxic. What they are saying is that your way of being positive for them is toxic. It works for you, but it's toxic to them. And that's not bad. That's not wrong. They can tell you that, because if you are wise, then that's going to trigger in your head, okay, so how can I be positive for this person? Maybe being positive for that person is just not saying a single thing. Maybe you being positive to that person is just being present. You know, maybe you being positive to that person is probably just acting like nothing's happened. I mean, you know, you'll figure out each person is an individual. And if you care enough for that person, then figure it out. If you don't care about that person, don't figure it out. Just don't be present, you know? Don't be a negativity to them. Don't be a toxicity to them. But that is my unprofessional analysis of what toxic positivity is. So yes, it is a verbal weapon towards a person who happens to be positive. But unbeknownst to that person who's trying to be positive, their positivity can also be a poison to the other person. So in that case, it's not that someone's wrong or someone's right. It's an old saying my mother says, cada mente es un mundo. Every mind is a world, you know? Meaning that in this world, it may be great, and in this world, it may not be good. So what's good for this mind is not necessarily good for the other mind. And humans, we need to learn how to interact and communicate. So that means that if you care about the person, then you learn how to be positive for the person. So I'll give an example. Someone's family member dies. Instead of saying, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, how about not saying anything and giving the person a call and letting them know, look, hey, I'm here, you know? Or if you happen to have their Cash App account, send them $10, $20, you know, if you can do that. In my case, what helped me with my losses were that people would say that they can imagine what I'm going through if they hadn't gone through it, or that they can understand what I'm going through, and then they would give their example, you know. For example, one thing that I do say to people is that this pain doesn't go away. It does not go away. It stays. And you don't move on. What happens is you learn to live with the pain, and as you continue learning to live with the pain, you develop new. It's like developing a new way of living. And I let them know that moments of nostalgia will come. Moments of nostalgia will come. You're gonna be like, for example, for me, I'll be washing a dish, and all of a sudden, I just start thinking, could I have done something different? Could I have given them elderberry? Like, why didn't I think about that? You know, things like that come, and I let myself feel those feelings. I let myself feel those feelings of guilt or being negligent. I let myself feel it because guess what? Those are real feelings. And that's what I let the person know. You're gonna go through moments where you feel like you failed. And sadly, part of it is true. You did fail. But guess what? Everybody fails. Everybody fails, you know? And ultimately, the reason people die is because of the sin that Adam committed. Ultimately, that's the reason why, you know? So I let people know, you're gonna feel like that. And there's some people in your life that hole will never be filled until you get to see them again. That's just the reality. That hole will be there. So it's not going to be okay. You know? But what would they have wanted you to do? For me, my sister, in my sister's case, I know she would have wanted me to continue being a success. So a week after my sister died, I went right into my school, my cosmetology school. It would have been a wonderful excuse for me to say, you know, oh, I have to deal with all of the cleaning of the apartment and throwing it out and taking care of my mom and, you know, me and my... But again, going back to how I talk to myself, you guys already know how I talk to myself. I don't play. So I thought, what would my sister do? And my sister would have made sure she excelled in the school. You know, we can't physically fight death, but psychologically we can fight it. You know, death wants you to get depressed and down and give up because he took someone from you. Then you have to do the opposite and live and thrive with the pain and the scars that death has inflicted, you know, but you have to live and thrive. And that's what I did. I made sure every day I went to my cosmetology school, I made sure to honor my sister. And when we got into the parts that had to deal with extensions and making wigs, oh my God, my heart was breaking every day because she loved doing those things, you know? So every day my heart was breaking. But you know what I would do? I would make sure I'd go to the gym before going to school, you know? And I would work out for at least 45 minutes, and then I'd go up to the school and make sure that I had genuine energy and that I learned as much as I could learn. You know what I mean? So those are things that I would express, you know, and I would let that, I think, in my experience, that's permitted people to open up a door and feel free to express themselves if they want to, you know? But yeah, so that's my experience with a loss in my family due to COVID. Now, mind you, she died July of 2019. July 2019. She had gotten it probably late 2018, early 2019, but she died July 2019. And that's it. That's the conversation and the chit chat for today. So toxic positivity, it's toxic for the person who's receiving it and not so toxic for the person giving it. But the person giving that positivity has to understand that sometimes what's good for the geese is not good for the other geese. I don't know. Or gander. I don't know. But I hope this conversation was good for y'all, okay? I love you guys from the heart, genuinely. And goodbye, my lovely Marshall blender. I'll see you soon. I hope I used the right notes. If anybody knows about that, correct me if I used notes that were not on key, but I think I did. Okay, bye.